Hello and welcome, fellow film buffs. I'm Hunter Van Leer, and I'm joined by my co-host and fellow cinephile, Zachary Droll.
Hello.
He just woke up literally
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
No, not even legit. Probably 4.
We are the box office losers. Each and every week, we deep dive into the movies for you to watch, interview, any and all films to ever grace the silver screen or your TV screen. This week, we're talking about 2014's Godzilla. Talking about Godzilla, folks. We're on that monster movie tour until we get Godzilla v Kong, Big Monkey. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm into Big Monkey.
I don't like Godzilla. I don't. I have never liked
But
Godzilla.
the cast is great.
Yes, the cast is fucking amazing.
The
Bryan
cast is great in
Cranston.
every single film.
I'm sorry.
Island, dude.
I'm sorry, but Bryan Cranston is fucking underutilized. He's there for 30
dude,
minutes.
It's crazy.
Dies.
It's crazy.
That's it.
It is crazy how they're just like, we're gonna get Bryan Cranston for this. People were like, that's fucking cool. And then it's like, we got him for this. We didn't say he's
He
gonna be
was
in the
there
whole movie.
literally for 30 minutes.
He dies at like the 30-minute mark, like almost exactly.
And that's it.
That's all the money they had to pay him. They were like,
It's also very fucking jarring to see Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen be a couple after being a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, this actually came out a year before Age of
Ultron,
Ultron.
I know.
And it was filmed 2 years before, blah, blah, blah. So they didn't know, I mean, they probably knew, that they were going to be Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but it's funny to see Godzilla and then go watch Age of Ultron and you're like, oh, shit.
Because I think on TikTok that someone posted a joke about this, saying this is a deleted scene from WandaVision of Pietro and Wanda meeting each other, and it's just them making out. Like, whoa.
It's a scene from WandaVision that got deleted.
Whoa, dude.
All right, so I'll hit us up with the overview because you are not having any of this Godzilla bullshit. So, Godzilla is a 2014, this Godzilla, American monster film directed by Gareth Edwards, who made my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, Rogue One. It is a reboot of Toho's Godzilla franchise and is the 30th film in the Godzilla, cinematic universe thing. It is the first film in Legendary's MonsterVerse, which includes Kong, Godzilla 2, and Big Monkey Fight.
Okay.
This is the second Godzilla film to be completely produced by Hollywood Studio, the first one being the one from 2004 with Matthew Broderick.
I thought it was 98.
I thought it was 2004 for some reason.
I'll look it up.
Doesn't matter. In the film, a soldier attempts to return to his family while caught in a crossfire of an ancient rivalry between Godzilla and two parasitic monsters known as MUTOs. I think it's like Monster Unknown Terrestrial Organism, or Massive Unknown Terrestrial Organism. That's what they call it.
I was right. 98.
98? I'm like, MUTOs are dumb. Anyway. Alright, Zach. I'm going to give you the cast because none of them are Italian.
I can fucking... Well, maybe like the David last name is going to be fucking with my head, but I can do
Straight Arm.
Straight Arm. Okay, cool. The cast consists of Aaron Taylor Johnson as Ford Brody, Bryan Cranston as Joe Brody, Elizabeth Olsen as Ellie Brody, Ken Watanabe as Dr.
Ishiro
Shirazawa. Sally Hawkins as Dr. Vivian, thank you. Like I said, just woke up. Vivian Graham. Graham. David Straightarm as Admiral William Stens, and TJ Storm as Godzilla via motion capture.
Dude, TJ Storm is fucking crazy. He's a big YouTube personality and voice actor. And when I found out that he was the motion capture for Godzilla, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. I love TJ Storm. Check him out on oh god, what podcast is he on right now? He's on a D&D podcast. I want to say Blood and Steel, Iron and Steel. Anyway, the budget for this movie is $160 million, with the box office being $529 million. With a stacked cast, this makes a lot of sense. This is the first Godzilla movie to come out in America since 1998. Hell yeah, dude.
I'm assuming our budgets don't really count for advertising. I'm assuming.
Well, no, they never
Right?
count for advertising. You're always supposed to double it.
Oh God, it just made its money back.
Yeah, it wasn't really a critical or commercial success in itself, but it made a lot more money than people thought it was going to. So they were like, sure. And they kept going with it.
You see, like with this movie, I was like, I've heard so much about this movie, but it's been a lot of like half and half shit. Like
Really?
I
I love
hear
this
about the
movie.
Bryan Cranston stuff,
You hear that it was underused.
and I'm like, well, this is not gonna. This is like upsetting because I think this movie came out like just after Breaking Bad, right?
I think it was either like a month before or a month after Breaking Bad ended.
So
We
kind of
were
like
at
for me,
peak Bryan Cranston right now.
yeah, this is when Bryan Cranston was not being taken seriously.
Yes and no.
Well,
He
he
just
was
started
taking
getting taken seriously.
he was
in
taken
commercial
more
world.
seriously because of his role in Breaking Bad. Because
Mhm.
we only knew him as the goofball dad from
Mhm.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Facts.
But I digress. I'm gonna hop into these notes for us. So bear with me. I just woke up. I'm currently drinking a Monster. Edward has cited Godzilla 1954 as an inspiration on the film. Edward stated Godzilla is a metaphor for Hiroshima in the original film. We tried to keep that, and there was a lot of theme from the 1954 movie that we've kept. Edwards decided on a restrained, approach. Similar to when films were fueled by a sense of anticipation and relied on high suspense, citing Alien, Jaws, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind as influences. On why Edwards chose a restrained direction, he stated, I felt that in a modern cinema, it's so easy just to throw anything at the screen consistently. Edwards also wanted Godzilla to feel universal in a way that it could appeal to a a general audience, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's a very broad statement right there.
It's the director talking, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt. He's very hyped about his movie.
Edwards additionally stated, I grew up watching Spielberg movies, what they did so well as having epic, fantastic spectacles. They've made the characters feel real and human. We're trying to do the same thing here. Critics and journalists have also noted the film's nod to Spielberg's style of filmmaking and influences from films such as Jaws, Jurassic Park, and, once again, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Hell yeah, man.
I can see it, but like I said, that's a very broad statement saying he wanted Godzilla to feel universal in a way it could appeal to a general audience like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's very broad.
Yeah, he was just kind of like, I want everyone to like it. And I'm like, that's a great way to do your movie, dude. He's like, I hope everybody likes this. I'm like, it's you should have your people like your movie. But whatever.
When we get to it, this podcast has fucked up my perception of movies.
I'm glad we already ruined your taste.
I have to I legit have to look at stuff with a very, very critical eye.
Because I don't. And then you have to make up for my lack of critical eye-ness.
Yeah.
I go, this cool movie, Big Monster.
And then I go, here's wrong with this, here's wrong with that. I'm, of course, the art house fuck.
You went to school for this. I like art house movies. I just don't like them when they're too pretentious. I watched Malcolm and Marie last week. Very boring. Most exciting thing was the mac and cheese stuff. Don't get me wrong. Zendaya and Washington were fantastic. It's just I didn't care about the characters, and they sucked. Anyway, that's my take on Malcolm and Marie, folks. If you hate that, you're not gonna.
We'll probably watch it somewhere down the line.
Eventually.
We're booked until next year again.
Well, everything could change, but yes, we have somewhat of a loose plan, which is really good. So, continuing on with the notes, Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira had also influenced the visual style of the film. Edward stated, "One of our designers on the film, a friend called Matt, when we were designing things and it got stuck, he'd always go. He said, what would Akira do? Oh, yeah, he would always go, what would Akira do? For the film cinematography, Edwards wanted to do this beautifully real documentary vibe, but also that classic Spielberg style. Real life events such as the 2004 Indian tsunami, Hurricane Katrina, and Fukushima nuclear disaster served as heavy influences on the realism behind the film's destruction scenes and nature versus man themes. Edwards had also cited action films from the late 70s and early 80s having influenced the film as well, stating, "We tried to make a blockbuster that harks back to the pace and style of the early 80s and late 70s action movies, as in slow. Very slow pacing. That's what they mean."
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
man, I don't hate it. I think it was pretty well off by itself, but that's just me.
It also has that 80s and 70s acting feel too.
Don't say that. The acting was fine in this movie.
It was a bit
It was
choppy
big
in some
monster fight.
areas.
Oh yeah, and
It
every
was
movie has
choppy in
choppy
areas,
moments.
man.
Every movie has choppy areas. In August 2009, rumors surfaced that Legendary was in talks with Toho to produce the new American Godzilla film back, and it was to be released in 2012. But on March 29th, 2010, Legendary announced it got the license for Godzilla. According to Hideyuki Takai, president of the Toho company, we are delighted in rebooting the character together to realize its much anticipated return by fans from all over the world. We're anxious to find out where Godzilla's new stomping will take us. Legendary announced it would reboot the franchise with Warner Brothers co-producing and co-financing, which is why there's a whole fiasco going on with the Legendary Pictures suing HBO/Warner Brothers. We'll get to that later. Legendary announced it would make the new film closer in style to the original 1954 film rather than the 1998 film in its iguana-like creature. They actually make a really cool reference to the 1994 Godzilla in this movie, where they go, "Oh, the 1954 Hiroshima bombing," or whatever they say in the movie, where when Watanabe takes out his watch, the doctor, and he goes, "This is when the time stopped. That's when they blew up the original Godzilla, and that's where they found the bones. And then Baby Godzilla, aka Gadzuki, walked out of there and then became the current Godzilla. And then we're gonna get another one of those later. It's gonna be a whole situation. Can't wait to talk about GVK." So
I'm gonna wait for you to finish up this paragraph, then I'm gonna bring up something.
According to Thomas Toll, chairman and CEO of Legendary Pictures, said, "Our plans are to produce the Godzilla that we as fans would want to see. We intend to do justice to those essential elements that allowed us to have this character remain as pop culturally relevant as long as he has." Film producers Dan Lin, Roy Lee, Doug Division, and Devizon, and Legendary's Thomas Toll and John Jassini were added to the project to work with Rogers, Bano, and Okura.
So, do you want to know what my or just my general first introduction to Godzilla was?
What is it?
Do you remember
the Broderick movie?
Do you remember those books back in I think probably elementary school and the school's library, but it was the pet version. You have a cat or a dog portraying them.
Do you mean Clifford the Big Red Dog?
No.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm gonna hold on.
Don't da 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 da. We're doing a podcast. You can't da 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 da.
Yeah. I found it.
Figured it out. All right.
I found it. I'm gonna send it to you because it might spark a memory if you've seen it.
It might indeed spark a memory. It's sent to me on Discord.
Yep. I'm sending you both because there's two.
Oh, fun. Who doesn't like two?
Yeah. Better than one, apparently.
One.
You can continue reading. I'm sorry. I need to figure out where the fuck this thing's saved.
Okay. At the 3D Summit Conference held in September 2010 at Universal Studios, producer Brian Riders confirmed a target release date for 2012. The reboot will be a live-action project featuring a fully computer-generated Godzilla battling two monsters rather than simply a military as seen in Heinrich's 1998 film. Riders, Emmerich's. Riders also confirmed that the two Godzilla head designs online rumored to have been designed by Legendary and Toho were proved to be fake. Rogers also stressed his legendary's wish to revive Godzilla in the same fashion legendary revived Batman.
Listen.
I have never seen these, but that's
They
fucking hilarious.
they were awesome.
Oh, they're by the Captain Underpants guy. That makes sense on why they're so like just stupid. Okay.
They were awesome.
Doubt. In October 2010, it was rumored that
Fuck you.
Guillermo del Toro was approached to direct this film,
Oh,
which
Lord.
Del Toro later denied. I wish he did it though. I like Gareth Edwards, but Del Toro Godzilla, oh my god,
That would have been like kind of like
it would have been like a legit horror movie, dude.
I probably would have liked it a lot more.
In January 2011, Gareth Edwards was announced as the director for the film. In an interview publicizing the DVD release of Monsters, Edwards' film at the time, he discussed the new film. He said, this will definitely have a very different feel than the 1998 film, and our biggest concern is making sure we get it right for the fans because we know their concerns. It must be brilliant in every category because I'm a fan as well, Edwards further stated. Without addressing anything specific, everyone knows how important it is to get it right because they
You got fucking Matthew Broderick back.
No! No Matthew
Yes.
Broderick. No! We don't need fucking Bueller.
Instead of Bryan Cranston, get Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, the film remained in development into 2012, missing the planned release date.
Don't
which
ignore
is
me.
what it is. Edwards worked on his vision for the film at a stage of the Warner Brothers lot. The production team developed Godzilla models, artwork, and pre-visualizations of the action sequences for the film from the lot. Edwards also directed a short teaser video shown to the executives at San Diego Comic-Con International, which I didn't know it was called International, in July 2012. Damn, it is crazy.
Yeah.
They've been working on this film since 2010, and then it finally came out in 2014, and this is where the MonsterVerse came into play again.
Yeah, in 2010, David Callahan pitched his take on Godzilla to Legendary and Warner Brothers, and was hired to write the first draft. Speaking of his first draft, Callahan stated Godzilla is pretty cut and dry giant monster that smashes stuff, but the reason I got excited about it is because I saw themes and relationships to the modern world that I could tell in this story that was important. Callahan did research on Godzilla's history, animal documentaries, as well as a natural disaster and local government disaster planning in order to depict the events as close as possible to real-life disasters.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot more sense. God, this thing has a lot of notes. More notes than
I found some good ones, man. I found some good ones.
Yeah, I kind of appreciated you doing the notes because I fucked up on them.
You didn't fuck up on anything.
I decided just like to hold off because I did not do anything the entire week because I've been like dying. Because I also I got my first COVID shot.
Ooh, fun. Did you get the Moderna?
No, Pfizer.
Oh, really? The Moderna is the one that I've heard that's been giving people problems. Not problems in a bad way. I mean, problems as in you're sore and you're a little bit like sniffly the next day. Because Courtney and my mom got it. Also, my dad just got it. He said it was okay. He's got a stronger immune system though.
I had just my arm has been effed up, and I've probably just been like a lot more exhausted than usual.
Yeah, that's what happens. Courtney like slept for like 24 hours after she got it. I was like, damn. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, but I know to people who are eligible to get the vaccine, get it.
Yeah,
just get it.
I'm not eligible yet, and I want it so bad.
I'm lucky enough and unlucky enough that my genetics have allowed me to get it.
The ginger gene?
I'm gonna kill you. I legit will set you on fire. No,
genetics,
it's
what do you mean?
neurofibromatosis. It's like that. You've seen those red bumps on me, those weird like red bumps are not pimples that I've shown you.
On your arms?
Yes.
I have some of those too, but mine's eczema. I believe it's what it's called.
Mine is neurofibromatosis. I'm not gonna get into a whole debacle about it. If you want to learn about it, just fucking look it up.
Just Google it.
Yeah. When Edwards' signing was announced, it was also announced that Callahan's first draft would be rewritten by another writer. Oof.
You hate to see it happen, folks.
It's like damn it. It's like giving my movie to someone, then they go, all right, we're gonna keep the title, but we're gonna change everything else.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
In July of 2011, David S. Goyer was attached to rewrite the script. Goyer, I don't know why I'm thinking like that.
Goyer
only worked on a few weeks of the script and did not give any credit. Did not get any credit, stating, "I was involved with Godzilla."
He was like, I did it, but like, did I?
I mean, I did 3 or 4 weeks of work on Godzilla. It wasn't a page 1 rewrite or anything like that. The term is script doctoring. It was what I did on it in November 2011. Max Borstein? Wait, sure. Was hired to continue work on the script in October 2012. Legendary announced that writer Drew Pearce would polish the script, making the principal characters older to suit the actors that Legendary had anticipated to act.
But then look at Godzilla, not Godzilla v Kong. Well, kind of look at Godzilla v Kong and then King of the Monsters. They have a lot younger actors playing the main characters in those movies. With
They
Millie
brought
Bobby
in
Brown.
fucking 11
Yeah, they
on
brought
that
in Millie
movie.
Bobby Brown, baby. She's a good actress. It's just when you think Godzilla movie, you don't think little girl becomes friends with giant lizard. You don't think that at all.
Well, then then just look at fucking Kong versus Godzilla. You have little girl befriends Kong.
Yeah, but Kong always befriends women because Kong horny. Kong befriends Brie Larson in Kong v Skull Island. In Kong Skull Island, he becomes friends with Brie Larson.
Kong versus Home. Well,
Kong v Home. It's kind of what that movie is. You haven't seen most of it. You'll like it.
I've only the only Godzilla movie I ever saw was the one from 2000 and something.
Oh,
with Jack Black.
Oh, that's King Kong, not Godzilla. That's just King Kong by Peter Jackson. I want to say it's the director on that one.
I like that movie a lot because it was so good.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
I hear it's way too long.
Yeah, that's up to your own interpretation. I like that one a lot because, I think I bought all the books about it, all the movie books about it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like Skull Island a lot. If you like that one a lot, because it's very reminiscent of that. Except it's got more of a big monster feel as opposed to like a human feel. There's still some good stuff.
I'll pick up this one. In January 2013, Frank Darabont was hired for a final rewrite. God, how many fucking script writers did they do?
It's Warner Brothers and Legendary. They do this a lot.
They're bastards. I would be so disappointed.
Dude, remember Die Hard was rewritten 3 times?
Yeah, but that's Die Hard, and that was the 70s or 80s because they had low expectations. This is a monster movie. Just throw anything on the screen and it fucking works.
Almost, yes.
Was hired for the final rewrite. In interviews, Darabont described his plans for Godzilla as returning it to a terrifying force of nature. The film would add a very compelling human drama, and that Godzilla would be tied to a different contemporary issue.
I wouldn't say it's that compelling, but it's got enough of a drive for me to go, I hope he gets home to his wife.
Yeah. Rather than the original atomic bomb testing, in addition to contributing to the script, Darabont mainly focused on the emotional aspect and further development of the characters. Commenting on Darabont's work, Edwards stated, we blocked out the whole story and Frank did a pass at helping the characters and emotions. He delivered on that. Frank brought a lot of heart to it and soul. Edwards additionally confirmed that one particular scene that Barry Bond rewrote convinced Bryan Cranston and Juliet
Bianchi.
Yeah.
She was the wife.
Huh, there's no Italian last names.
I didn't put her in the main cast, okay? She's just in the notes.
To join the film, Edwards felt it was not believable that a creature as giant as Godzilla could go undetected by humanity.
Facts.
So the writers
Conceived.
Sorry, what? Conceived, thank you. Of the idea that the monster's existence has been covered up by the United States government, and as such, their nuclear tests at the Pacifics during the 50s were actually an attempt to kill the creature. I fucking love rewriting history.
Yeah, it's awesome. Rewrite history to put Big Monster in it.
Yeah, you're going, hey, fuck all the real people that died there. Let's just say it was Godzilla.
Let's blame it on Big Monster. In July 2013, Edwards confirmed that the story was going to be an origin story for Godzilla. He also confirmed that Godzilla would be an anti-hero rather than a villain or a hero. He also discussed the themes incorporated into the film, stating, Godzilla is definitely a representation of the wrath of nature. We've taken it very seriously, and the theme is man versus nature, and Godzilla is certainly the nature side of it. You can't win that fight. Nature's always going to win, and that's what the subtext of the movie is all about. He's the punishment we deserve. It's fucking crazy. Producer Thomas Toho made it clear that the Godzilla's design had to be accurate, stating we had to make triply sure we got it right. Godzilla had to look like Godzilla, period, as opposed to an iguana thing. Toho was also puzzled at the design direction by Emmerich's Godzilla, stating, I was puzzled as to why they make it look so unrecognizable.
You know what? If you want to look like Godzilla, he like the VFX artist wanted to do something. He should have had like a little, had like a spike that kind of just looks like a zipper, just as a fun nod. That would have been like nice.
That would have been interesting, but no. Iguana Godzilla pass. Dude, in the Toho movies, after the 1998 one, they remade one of the movies, I think it was like mid-2000s. And it was the Godzilla beating up the American Godzilla. It was super funny. I think it was in one of the Final Wars movies. Anyway, Edwards and the design group reviewed all previous incarnations of Godzilla's design for inspiration. Edwards stated, the way I tried to view it was to imagine Godzilla was a real creature, and someone from Toho saw him in the 1950s and ran it back to the studio to make a movie about a creature that was trying their best to remember it and draw it from scratch. And in our film, you get to see him for real. He went on to say that Godzilla remains true to the original in all aspects. Godzilla didn't stress this. Edwards stressed that it was important for me to make it feel like a Toho Godzilla, and concluding by wishing he'd love all the fans of Godzilla as a part of the Toho group to appreciate his design. I think this Godzilla design is one of the coolest Godzilla designs we've ever gotten.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say like even though I did dislike this movie, I'm not gonna say that like the design of Godzilla was bad. It's a good looking monster.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
It's very believable. Like I will say that.
In October, he's just a big lizard. In October 2015, Legendary announced plans to unite Godzilla and King Kong in a film called Godzilla v Kong, set for a 2020 release date. Legendary planned to create a shared cinematic franchise centered around Monarch, which is a secret government agency which didn't this Godzilla movie, that brings together Godzilla and Legendary's King Kong in an ecosystem other than giant super species, both classic and new. Prior to announcing this, though, they had to do another two movies. What were you gonna say?
I think back when the original King Kong, not like the old one, but the one from the Peter Jackson one.
Yeah.
I think like the advertisement for it, since I remember seeing like the old cardboard advertisement for it at Aisle 16. And in that movie, there's a scene where King Kong fucking fights a goddamn T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And I had
something like that.
And I had always thought when I was being advertised, I thought this was Godzilla versus King Kong, because you see a giant lizard thing versus big monkey. You're like,
exactly.
oh shit, they're doing it.
No. Prior to announcing a shared cinematic universe between Godzilla and King Kong, Legendary originally intended to produce a trilogy with Gareth Edwards attached to direct the sequels. However, Edwards left the sequel in May of 2016 to work on smaller scale projects, one of them apparently being Rogue One. After Edwards left the project, Michael Dougherty, who had been hired in October of 2016 to write the script with Zach Shields, which was announced as the director of Godzilla King of the Monsters in January 2017. So going back, Godzilla v Kong was announced in October 2015, which we said before. But then we got Kong Skull Island released in 2017, I want to say. 2018? The film's writers were assembled in March 2017, and Adam Wingard was announced to direct in 2017. It's scheduled to release on March 26th and in the United States on March 31st, where it was released on HBO Max simultaneously in theaters with, obviously, HBO Max. So basically, the timeline was we want to make a Godzilla movie in 2010. They were like, okay, let's do that. 2012, they were like, we didn't do it yet. What about 2014? They released it in 2014. Then they go, we're going to do Godzilla versus King Kong. And they go, but how do we make King Kong into this franchise without forcing him? They go, all right, let's do Kong Skull Island. And then they go, well, that was set in the 60s, so what the fuck are we going to do to have him age up and get in there? We're like, okay, let's have Godzilla versus King of the Monsters, where he fights Ghidorah and where he fights Mothra, so then he's a little bit weak. And then let's put them all together in a movie in 2021. That's what we got.
Yeah, and we didn't cover this, but yeah, so so Legendary Pictures mainly had the issues with HBO for doing this, right?
Yeah, Legendary was upset that they were told 20 minutes before the thing was announced that all movies that were coming that were through Warner Brothers were going to be on HBO Max for free, essentially.
Which is
and then
awesome.
also, I mean, it releases simultaneously in theaters, so it's not like they're not getting a theatrical release. But also, people like us who have HBO Max aren't going to go into theaters to watch that movie. Even though
Us, you mean
Godzilla,
I, who gave
Yes.
you the account?
I know, but that's still an us situation. Don't fucking don't poor shame me, bitch. Don't stream shame me.
But no, like I do appreciate HBO Max releasing them for free, unlike Disney Plus, who goes pay $30
for
bitch,
a rental, bro.
and fucking spits on you at that point.
It's a $30 rental. Like, what the fuck?
They're like
Anyway.
$30, bitch. Puh.
Pip.
But you know, I can see why Legendary's upset, but also like, dude, like it's a pandemic. No one's going to a theater right now.
Yeah, like I would love to see Godzilla v Kong in theaters because that's like a huge theatrical scale monster movie.
Yeah.
But it's not going to end up working out that way. So I'd rather just watch it on my bigger TV and go, okay, it is what
And
it
I
is.
can also imagine this is gonna be that movie's also being dropped in IMAX, right?
Yo, for sure, yeah.
And I would love to see I would love to see it too in IMAX, 100%. But I'm not going to a theater. The only movie I'm making an exception to see in theaters during this pandemic is going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, because it's coming out in December, which hopefully a lot of people have their vaccines. And they said it's only coming out in theaters, which means we're going to have to wait because it's Sony, and Sony's stupid. Because none of the Spider-Man movies are on Disney+. So we're going to have to wait for either the DVD release, because I'm not seeing it in theaters if COVID's still around, or I'm just going to pirate it and say, fuck it.
I would recommend pirating it because I'm going to see this movie regardless in theaters.
I'm going to try to see it in theaters, but if we're still being stupid with our masks and stuff and movie theaters are still limited capacity, we're not going to be able to see this movie. You might be able to, but I'm not going to be able to.
I'm gonna try my damnedest to see the Spider-Man movie because that is the only one I'll ever make an exception to.
Well, it's also at the end of the year too, so you have that as like an upside.
Yeah. Oh, plot.
We're on to the plot now, baby. Plot.
I cannot. Oh my god, mid-movie notes is gonna be fun.
I don't actually have that many because I've seen this movie before, but also it's just big monster fights, so there's not really a lot of notes to talk about.
This was my first time seeing it, so I have.
Oh, interesting.
I have notes.
All right, I'll start us off with the plot. So, In 1954, Godzilla, prehistoric alpha predator, is lured to Bikini Atoll in an attempt, which is in Hawaii, or the Pacific Ocean, to kill him with a nuclear bomb. In 1999, Monarch scientists Ishiro Shirazawa and Vivian Graham investigate the skeleton of a monster similar to Godzilla in a cavern unearthed by a collapsed uranium mine in the Philippines. They also find 2 giant spores, one dormant and one hatched, along with the trail leading to the sea. In Japan, the Genjiro nuclear power plant experiences unusual seismic activity as Supervisor Joe Brody sends his wife Sandra to lead a team of technicians into the reactor. A tremor breaches the reactor, forcing Joe to close the reactor door before Sandra and her team can escape while the plant collapses. Damn, son!
Yeah.
This gives you the opening. It's basically the opening where everybody's bombing the oceans, and then it gives you the mining scene, and then we get the introduction of Bryan Cranston and little tiny young Ford. So,
yeah, then Bryan Cranston screams as a cloud flies at him.
No!
I was gonna make a comment about it, saying, "Wow, slow moving gas is slow moving."
Well, it's slow moving, but also it's a fucking tremor. It's not gas. Gas isn't killing his wife. It's a fucking earthquake that's happening in a nuclear power plant. Turns out it's a giant monster. Turns out it's a giant monster, not a fucking cloud.
No,
Zachary.
but look, listen. Hold up.
It's not gas.
Hold up. Let me speak real quick. Because it's slow moving as they're running, but the moment she trips with the other person, and all of a sudden just picks up full force speed.
It's an earthquake being brought on by a giant monster. It is not gas.
No, but that cloud of
because the monster
nuclear.
The monster ate him. The monster was one of the MUTOs, and it was like nom 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 nom. Anyway, continue on with the plot, bitch.
Fuck you. 15 years.
Cloud is fast. Fucking earthquake.
15 years later, Joe and Sandra's son, Ford, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, as a U.S. Navy EOD officer,
he's a bomb
returns from a tour of duty to his wife Ellie and son Sam in San Francisco, but immediately departs for Japan after Joe is detained for trespassing in Genjira.
It's the nuclear power plant.
Genjira.
It got quarantined off after the explosion happened at the power plant, and he's trying to go back to see if he can find his wife.
I know.
I watched 15 years. You should have found your fucking wife after 15 years if she was alive, dude. She would have came back. But it's just me.
Joe is determined to find out the cause of the meltdown and persuades Ford to accompany him to retrieve vital data from their old house. They discover the zone is uncontaminated and retrieve the data, but are discovered and taken to a facility in the plant's ruins. The facility harbors a massive, what was that? Cryocell? That had been feeding off the plant's reactors for 15 years and emanating strong electromagnetic pulses over time. A giant winged insect.
That's the word. Chrysalis.
Chrysalis, thank you.
Yeah.
A giant winged insect that like creature emerges from the chrysalis and escapes, destroying the facility. Joe is severely injured and later dies. The incident is reported as an earthquake. Cool.
But it's not. Yeah,
cool,
exactly.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, government.
Yeah, Shirazawa and Graham joined a U.S. Navy task force led by Admiral William Stentz to search for the creature, dubbed MUTO, Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organism. Shirazawa and Graham revealed to Ford that at a 1954 deep-sea expedition, awakened Godzilla and nuclear tests in the 1950s were actually attempts to kill him, and when this did not work, Project Monarch was established to secretly study Godzilla and similar monsters, which we get in the 60s with Kong Skull Island. They also explained the MUTO caused the Genjira meltdown. Ford reveals Joe had monitored echolocation signals indicating the MUTO was communicating with something, presumably Godzilla. But it wasn't. It was communicating with his wife.
But
the
also
MUTO...
sister? Because that also was the other egg?
No, they want to fuck, bro. They horny.
Yeah, see, but they were in. But they were.
But they were in Age of Ultron, I know.
Ah! But no, like,
No!
no. But isn't the other Moto like essentially like related because it was in the other egg?
Dude, who cares? They're giant monsters.
Fuck, and also that female had a fat pussy though.
No, Zachary, no! The female was big woman.
We'll get there when we get there.
The MUTO attacks the Russian submarine and drops it in Oahu, to eat its nuclear material. Godzilla arrives, causing a tsunami in Honolulu, and briefly engages the MUTO in battle until the MUTO flees. Serizawa introduces Godzilla was only listening as the MUTO was communicating with something else. Brought to the military to investigate the other spores stored in the Yucca Mountain nuclear waste reservoir in Nevada. However, a second bigger wingless MUTO, the lady with the big pussy, has already emerged and attacks Las Vegas. The scientists deduce that it is a female because of the vagina, probably.
The giant egg sac. Whoa,
Their signals
dude.
being a mating call. You're laughing too much at your own stupid fucking joke. You're like, ha ha ha, big vagina. You fucking loser.
I hate you. Over the scientist's objection, Stens approaches a plan to use nuclear warheads to lure all three monsters out to the open ocean and destroy them. Returning to the U.S., Ford joins the team delivering the warhead by train, but the female Moto intercepts them and devours most of the warhead. The remaining warhead is airlifted with Ford to San Francisco, where the monsters are converging. Active after Godzilla appears at the Golden Gate Bridge, only for the male Moto to snatch it and take it to the female, who forms a nest around the Chinatown area.
They basically take the bomb and go, we're going to use this as nuclear energy to make our babies.
Yes.
So while Godzilla and the MUTOs battle, Ford and the strike team enter the city via halo drop, because it's cool visually, to find and disarm the warhead before it detonates. Unable to access the timer, the team gets the warhead on a boat for disposal at sea. While Ford destroys the nest, Godzilla defeats the MUTOs and collapses on the shore from exhaustion. Ford gets the boat out to an open sea and is rescued before the warhead explodes and reunites with his family at an emergency shelter, I think in one of the football stadiums, the following morning. Godzilla reawakens and returns to the sea, while the media dubs him King of the Monsters and speculate whether he might be a savior. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah,
Let
that
them
is
fight.
the plot.
Yeah, dude. Who doesn't like Godzilla? Apparently you.
Yeah, exactly.
You goddamn traitor. You're a traitor to your own kind.
No, I'm just a traitor to
Good film.
kind of overly hyped monster movies.
It's not overly hyped.
Fuck
you,
off,
bitch.
it is.
Alright, let's get to our mid-movie notes. I'll go mine first because mine are short, and I know this is your first time seeing it, so I want to hear your weird reactions to your mid-movie notes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second to scroll down the phone. I wrote, haven't seen this movie since it released in 2014. Excited to see if I still like it. I do. It's good. Don't remember this cave scene at all. Don't remember them finding the skeleton. I go, Baby Godzilla, dude, because they bombed the original. I like that. So Bryan Cranston is so good in this. Sucks he had to die for nothing. Mama's gonna die hard, bro. And this is right before she gets killed by the smoke. The slowing cloud. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver had a baby.
Yeah.
Johnson is really good in this. Wish he got more love. Mothra Easter egg, eyeball emojis. When they go back to the house in the nuclear area, there's a scene with them walking past this incubation tank that says Mothra, and I was like, that's cool. They named it Mothra because of Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Where are we? Imagine if Cranston and Son didn't come here today. He would be alive. Also, Muto is a terrible name. My next note is, I like how horny the monsters are.
Yeah.
They're just like, we
Yeah.
must procreate.
Yeah.
He could totally still be alive after that. It was just a fall. See, there he is. When does he die? Oh, now he's dead.
And man,
He
that's like
falls
descent
and they're
from
trying to eat
madness.
back. He falls, and then I'm like, oh, he's totally fine. Nothing crushes him. And then he gets evac'd away, and I'm like, yeah, see, he's alive. I thought he died. And then all of a sudden he dies, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there you go.
I thought he died earlier in the film.
Yeah, so did I. Eric Taylor Johnson is like, my neck is too huge to break. Wish I was the one who fell. I would have survived. There's a scene where he's looking at his dad's body as they zip it up, and his neck just looks so muscular. I'm like, dude, this guy would have beat the fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went, fucking Godzilla, bro. When Godzilla first showed up, when you see this little boom boom, I said, does Ford die? Why didn't he show up in more movies? I haven't seen this King of the Monsters, so I don't know if he's in it or not, but I hear he's not. Next note is, Godzilla! Mommy, look, dinosaur. Kid killed it, dude. Great delivery.
Yeah.
She's like, turn on TV, and he's like, there's a giant dinosaur, dude. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, if your son's not listening to you to turn off the TV, I think you should see what's happening on the TV at that point.
Dude, there's a scene where the U.S. guy, the Navy SEALs or the bomb guys, show up out of that cave, and he pulls out his binoculars. I'm like, he needed binoculars to see a giant monster? Okay.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait. Like, that was a scene in Nevada, right?
Yeah, it was right before they attacked Vegas, yeah.
Yep. Oh, I can't wait to get to there.
Is this man gonna blow himself up? This is when Aaron Taylor Johnson was like, no matter what it takes, I'm gonna detonate that bomb. I'm like, he's gonna die. I'm like, he's gonna die. Atomic breath looking clean. I want to see him fight Monkey. Monkey. So this man doesn't die. Why ain't he in the sequels? He better show up in a big monkey fight.
Doubt it.
Probably not. I said I love the name Godzilla because he's a behemoth lizard and considered a god back then. It's really cool. And then I said, Godzilla goes sleeping in ocean. Credits! Right when he dips in the water, they're like, credits. I'm like, damn, okay, that was fast.
Okay, here are my mid-movie notes.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear you cry about this movie for 20 minutes.
Just going to say from the jump, I was not looking forward to this movie.
Eat my ass, this movie's good.
Rented this movie because the totally legal way I was watching it sounded like shit. Come to find out, that's just the movie.
Not true, my illegal way was fine.
Oh look, Bryan Cranston, I sure hope he gets used in not a shitty way.
I think you were underhyped on this movie.
Because I've heard, I like Bryan Cranston. I heard he was underutilized, and I'm like just a little bit upset.
Yeah, I wish you saw this movie in theaters. I think you'd like it a little bit more. When it first came out, before you knew that Bryan Cranston wasn't used, before you knew that the monsters didn't really show up until like 40 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, if a nuclear plant did that, for real, a lot of people would have been dead. Like, a lot of people would have died, like, initially, not over time.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Kick-Ass.
Yeah, there he is. It's your boy.
And it's Wanda.
Yep.
Oh, this is weird after seeing them as brother and sister.
Sex.
No sub for the Japanese speaking parts? Why?
Because they're just screaming.
No, I'm talking about this is when Cranston was talking to the guy over the walkie-talkie.
Context clues. I don't remember exactly what he said, but the context clues kind of give into what he's saying, so I don't think it was hard to figure out.
Because I was like, okay, let me rewind it. Let me just turn subtitles on. Subtitles read, man speaking in Japanese.
That's fucking funny.
And I'm like, that doesn't fucking help me, dude. Why?
Man speaks in Japanese, thank you.
Acting is a bit choppy. I'm not gonna say it was a lot choppy, but it was like a little bit rough around the edges.
So a wee bit choppy.
Let's rewrite the history with the fact that the nuclear bomb testing was for Godzilla.
Awesome, I like that. That was cool.
This is when the Moto fucking yeeted a sub into the jungle.
Oh, he was just like, bye-bye.
This is when Godzilla first appeared. I said, imagine if Godzilla pokes his head up on the deck and goes, "So I hear you need my help."
You like Godzilla talked? Like, stop, motherfucker.
This is like the first reaction. But Moto's like, "The fuck do you want?" So like, step up.
Step up, motherfucker.
This is when the whole side of a mountain is missing.
Oh yeah, it's because MUTOs.
How do you miss that?
MUTOs, baby.
Man, Hangover Part 4 is about to go crazy. If Matthew Broderick was here, the issue would have been resolved by now.
It's not true! Matthew Broderick was terrible!
VIP cargo. So, for people who don't know what VIP stands for, it stands for very important person. So, very important person cargo. This is when they were talking about, I think, the bridge was out for a bit.
Oh, okay.
And this is when we see the female Moto. Damn, that's a thick pussy.
I hate you. I hate you. Hey, how a pussy game go? Is that the one where Aaron Taylor Johnson looks right at it and goes, "I'm gonna blow that clit up"? Oh, this is a bad episode, man. This is not good.
This is a fun note for me. I wonder what's happening on the East Coast.
Probably nothing.
I'm probably just watching it, like, laughing, like, man, fucking
I wouldn't
West
be
Coast,
laughing.
dude.
I'd be like, this is awesome. I was like, can we get a Godzilla?
Well, this is when the EMP goes off. Imagine a guy who's, like, mere, like, hours away from waking up from a coma. And then the
blown
fucking
up? Oh, and the fucking, yeah. And then
and the power goes out.
Oh, no. Bye-bye,
That probably... that probably happened, too.
Yeah, he was probably like, we're going to stabilize in the next couple hours. That's awesome. Oh, shit. Everyone's dead.
And this when I think this when FEMA gets Ford. Wow, FEMA. Wow, this really does show them that's about right. Doing jack shit for anything.
I like how you wanted Godzilla to talk really bad.
I think this is when they're about to fight in the city and Godzilla just emerges up. Imagine if he just said, "Sup, fuckers."
What's going on, motherfucker?
This is a personal bias, but I like King Kong as a monster more.
You will not like him more after you watch the other two Godzilla movies. Kong is good in his movie, don't get me wrong. It's just, Godzilla's just so cool.
And now it's time for long sleep.
The forever sleep.
Yes, that was my mid movie notes. God, thank God we don't have fucking sponsors yet.
Because we keep talking about thick pussy. That's why we're not getting any sponsors, bro.
Hey, I did put stuff out there for Raycon and for Manscaped, and they didn't get back to me.
Probably because we're not influential enough yet, which is totally fine. I figured they weren't going to hit us back yet.
I might try to find something that's small for us to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Anchor. If you just record the Anchor ad, I'll put it at the beginning of every episode, and they actually look for sponsors for you if you do their ad.
I'll think about it.
I would look into it. So, before we get to our reviews, let's hit up the reviews from people who are more able to review movies than us. A lot of review stuff. So, on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 76% based on 326 reviews, with an average rating of 6.7 out of 10. The site's critical consensus states, with just enough human drama to anchor the sweeping spectacle of giant monsters smashing everything in sight, Gareth Edwards' Godzilla satisfyingly restores the franchise's fire-breathing glory. It's atomic breath, but whatever.
Oh, shit. Well,
All right, since
Now,
I gave a good review,
yes,
I
read the
will
good
read
review.
the good review from Wendy Ide from Times UK. She said, "There's something heartening about the fact that Warner Brothers was prepared to hand over the reins of a stonking great blockbuster, and let's face it, a potentially money-spinning franchise, to a sophomore director. Gareth Edwards, before he did this and Rogue One, he did like 2 movies. And they were like, oh shit, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And then they were like, boom, here we go. So it's really cool that they were like, you got this. And then he kind of blew it out of the park, at least director-wise. I think it was directed very well.
It was directed well, but like I wasn't a fan.
Blame the writing. Zachary,
yeah.
you gave it the bad review. What is the bad review?
Dominic Ellis of 4-3. With a cast and crew as strong as this, Godzilla should have been more than a disposable Hollywood blockbuster.
Which is exactly your feelings.
Yeah.
All right, now time for our personal reviews.
I'm going to bump this up a point.
I gave it 6 out of 10.
And why'd you do that?
So I said, people give this film too much shit. It's good. The human elements do get a bit stale at times, but there is a lot to love here with the lore and the kaiju fights. Just remember the last Godzilla film we had had Matthew Broderick in it. This is miles better.
Listen, don't disrespect my man.
All right, what did you give it, Chief Keef? I'm glad that you gave it just a little bit higher. I like that.
I'm giving this a 4.5, but Bryan Cranston being wasted for 30 minutes out of 10.
Totally fair. I get it. I'm not saying you should be giving it a higher review. I only gave it a 6. It's not like I gave it a 10. It's just, I think you should have liked it a little bit more, but then again, you're more of a refined taste. You're more of a movie sommelier where you're a little bit douchey about it, so I get it.
Well, I have to, like, for me, like, it essentially is, like, our podcast unintentionally became me being the hard critic and you being the straight man.
Well, I'm the stupid idiot, you're the straight man.
Oh, yeah. And my reasoning for 4.5 is I'm not really a fan of Godzilla, and this movie to me felt a little bit boring.
I'm excited for you to watch Kong Skull Island then. I want to see what your opinion on that is, because you like Kong better.
Because that's just an overall monster that I've been more interested in, and also when I was growing up, I was a fan of I liked monkeys and stuff like that.
Monkey. Oh, there's an end credits scene in Kong Skull Island. So when you watch it next week, just stick to the credits.
All the way to the end or like mid credits?
I think it's a mid credits scene, but I don't 100%, so I would just double check and wait. Just let it play in the background. So, Zach, let's close out the show.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Box Office Losers and on Twitter at Box Office Loser for up-to-date news and mainly for when I post the episodes on Twitter and I share them. I'm contractually obligated.
Yep.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you can find your podcast. Leave a review on anything. It helps us get up there in the algorithm. I'm not sure if we're being liked a lot more in areas, but I have seen that our numbers for, I think, Washington in the U.S. have went up higher than our views in New York, which is good.
Yeah.
And also, share with your friends. Pretty much just post it wherever you can. It doesn't really matter to us.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we go, Zach, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Dark Shadow Zake literally everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Probably there's a Pornhub account with Dark Shadow Zake on it, so you could probably find that there. Also, you can catch me every Thursday on the Sports Hit List, recording, or not recording, reviewing the AEW Dynamite show of this week, called the AEW Injection. So give us a look. Hunter, where can they find you?
You can find me at Scruffy Mooseman on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else you could probably search me up on social media. You can find me every other Tuesday at Pound That Button, a video game podcast. You can find me every Wednesday at Android's Amazing Podcast, a comic book podcast. And you can find me every Thursday at Farthest Galaxy, a Star Wars podcast. I hate myself, so I do podcasts. It's what I do.
You do way too much, man.
I do 4. Okay, it's not that much. I was almost doing
a lot
6.
of editing.
Yeah, you do a
I
little
do a
more
lot of
editing.
editing. You do a lot of recording. Like Thursdays are Wednesdays are my busiest day for editing.
Yeah, because you
I
got to
will
do
say
this
that
real quick, and then you got to do you got to set up for your sports hit list.
stuff, but
So
that's like a little later in the day, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes.
Finger
Goodbye.
guns. Bye bye.
Open fire!